Today, I'm going to do some power rankings, MLB power rankings for 2022. That's what I'm going to do in today's video. Before I get into this video, though, if you want great baseball content throughout the offseason and lockout, make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn notifications, and leave a like for great baseball content throughout the offseason and lockout. And let's go ahead and get to this video. Starting off with the Washington Nationals at number 30, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Juan Soto is about all they have. He's 23 years old. Maybe they should look to trade him. Steven Strasburg's a pretty bad contract, and that's about it. Next up at number 29, I have the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles are looking towards the future with players like Adley Rutschman, Grayson Rodriguez, DL Hall, and more. They have some exciting players right now, like Cedric Mullins, but that's about it for this team. Next up at number 28, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates, once again, are a pretty terrible team. The Pirates are bad. They have Ke'Bryan Hayes, Brian Reynolds. Those are two key pieces to be excited about. O'Neal Cruz, Liover Peguera, Quinn Prester in the future are pretty good players, and they're going to be really good in the future. Next up at number 27, Chicago Cubs. The Cubs are a very bad team. The Cubs signed Marcus Stroman pre-lockout, which is a very good move. And they have players like Patrick Wisdom, Nick Madrigal. They've got some pretty decent players, but Wilson Contreras, nothing that's going to lead them anywhere near a good team. They come in at number 27. Number 26, the Arizona Diamondbacks finished with the worst record in Major League Baseball last year. Clearly a bad team. All they have is Ketel Marte, basically, and that's about it. And number 25, Colorado Rockies. The Rockies are a very bad team. It's pretty simple. They're not going to bring back Trevor Story. Basically, their only good player is going to be German Marquez unless somebody really breaks out. Number 24 is the Minnesota Twins. The Twins have some decent players like Jorge Polanco that not enough people mention or talk about. And they have players like Byron Buxton, who they signed to an extension. Good job on that. Twins, that's about all I've got to say. They're still a bad team. Number 23, Kansas City Royals. Royals are just better than the Twins. The Royals have some solid players like Salvador Perez with Merrifield and some pretty solid players, but nothing to write home about. Next up at number 22 is the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are a team that just tries to blow up every offseason. They're cheap. They don't spend money. They're very cheap. That's all I got to say. Next up is the Texas Rangers. The Rangers spent some big money pre-lockout, spending money on players like Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Colgal, Hoon John. Great. They had a crazy offseason pre-lockout, but it's still nothing that makes them a good team. They come in at number 21 in my power rankings. Number 20, Oakland Athletics. The Athletics, once again, there's not much to be excited about. The Athletics are a decent team. They're nothing special. The Athletics always manage to get a lot out of their players. They just hired a new manager, Mark Kotzke. That'll be their manager for the next couple of years. I think they'll explore Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Raymond Laureano trades, Chris Bassett, Sean Nyatt, basically anybody they can get value of. They could be traded this offseason. Next up at number 19 is the Philadelphia Phillies, who had one of the more underwhelming off seasons pre-lockout. Signing about nobody. They still definitely should look at some key players that could make a big impact to their team. They are pursuing Kyle Schwarber. They definitely could be interested in somebody like Chris Bryant as well. Next up at number 18 is the Miami Marlins. And the reason why I have the Miami Marlins at 18 is because I really like their offseason. I like the move of bringing in Joey Wendell. I like the move of bringing in Jacob Stallings via trade as well. And signing Sandy Alcantara to an extension is a big move as well. Avisail Garcia is a good move. I like what the Marlins did this offseason. They're heading towards the right direction with a good team and a really good team looking towards the future. And number 17 is the Cleveland Guardians. They're the team that's the most average team in Major League Baseball, I would say. They just hang around to be average every year. They're nothing special. They have great pitching, but their hitting's not worth a crap at all. Number 16 is basically the exact opposite of the Cleveland Guardians in the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels made a key move this offseason, getting Noah Syndergaard for 1 year. Hopefully he can stay healthy for this team. They still have great players like Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. Trout needs to stay healthy for a whole season. And if Trout can stay healthy for a whole season, the Angels, I think, would be really happy with what they're doing. At number 15 is the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers are getting to be a very solid team. The Tigers have a good manager in A.J. Hinch. They brought in Javi Baez this offseason, Eduardo Rodriguez, pre-lockout. And this is, I mean, they're getting really good. And Turkelson, Jackson Jobe. Some of those guys have yet to come up. And number 14 is the San Francisco Giants. The Giants proved us all wrong last year, winning 108 games last year and had a really good year. I'll give them that. But they made some big downgrades this offseason. They lost Buster Posey via retirement. They lost Kevin Gausman via free agency. And all they've really done is bring in Alex Cobb. Next up at number 13 is the New York Yankees. The Yankees are obviously the most overrated team in Major League Baseball right now. And I don't like to be brutal like this, but the Yankees are not that good at all. The Yankees, they're a solid team, but they have yet to perform in the playoffs, just above average for me. Next up at number 12 is St. Louis Cardinals. I like the Cardinals' moves this offseason. Bringing in somebody like Steven Matz, I think, is a good move in the back end of your rotation as a 4 or 5 starter to a team that's already pretty solid. Their hitting's good. Hopefully Paul DeYoung can bounce back. I think if he could bounce back, that'd be really key. Their starting pitching and hopefully their relief pitching will be good next year because it wasn't that great in 2021. Next up at number 11 is the San Diego Padres. The Padres are a very solid team. Don't get it wrong. The Padres, I think, made a decent move trading Adam Frazier this offseason. It hurts a little bit, yes, but Adam Frazier realistically just wasn't good for them. And it shows that they'll be aggressive, and if you're not good, they'll just trade you. Next up at number 10 is the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox come in at number 10 for me, even after trading Hunter Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe trade lost a lot of power and some good defense in the outfield for this team. But I trust what Shane Bloom's going to do. He's been very reliable in the past to do great stuff for this team. And maybe they can make a push for Sia Suzuki and maybe even sign him. Number 9 is the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners are an underrated team. I'll say that. The Mariners proved us all wrong in 2021. Scott Service won the American League Manager of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. And they had a really good year and brought in Robbie Ray this offseason, contributing to an already 90-win team in 2021. Next up at number 8 is the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, I did like the move of bringing in Hunter Renfroe via trade. They lost a lot offensively, though. Eduardo Escobar and Phil Garcia were big parts of their team last year. 2 superstar quality players last year for their team, and they lost them. But still, they've got very good pitching. It's just if the hitting could show up, then they're going to be looking like a really good team in 2022. Next up at number 7 is the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays, I think that their offseason was pretty decent. I do. I think that it was a win, even with the loss and losing Marcus Semien and Robbie Ray. They did sign Kevin Gausman, which I thought was a good move. They have one of the better rotations in baseball. If they can get that bullpen and beef it up, they're going to be looking like one of the better teams in baseball. And the Blue Jays are one of my favorite teams to watch in baseball. And number 6 is the Houston Astros. They just went to the World Series, but losing Carlos Correa is key. Carlos Correa was one of the better players, if not their best player in 2021, and he had a great year. So losing him is going to be a big L. At number 5 is the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox need to bring back Carlos Rendon as they're lacking a top-end rotation arm right now. They still have a very good team without Carlos Rendon, but bringing Carlos Rendon would bump them up even more in this rankings. At number 4, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers, for me, are still one of the better teams in baseball. Even though you did lose Corey Seager and Max Scherzer this offseason, you still brought back Chris Taylor, and you're still going to be adding players, hopefully in 22, like Dustin May's going to be back. Trevor Bauer could be back as well. They're going to be adding some good players still back to their team that a lot of people tend to forget. At number 3 is the New York Mets for me. I didn't particularly love the hiring of Buck Showalter, but, as far as what they had available, he's probably the best available that they could have got. They didn't have a lot available. Obviously, they had a key offseason, big offseason, signing guys like Starling Marte, Eduardo Escobar, Mark Canha, Max Scherzer this offseason. Great offseason. At number 2 is the Tampa Bay Rays. People continue to doubt the Rays year after year, and I'm not doubting them anymore. And they signed Wander Franco to an extension this offseason. They'll still be looking to bring back guys like Nelson Cruz that they paid a lot for, or not paid, but traded a lot for in Drew Strotman and Joe Ryan at the 2021 MLB trade deadline. And the Rays are a team that's known to be starting to spend a little bit more of money to try to compete. And at number 1 is the Atlanta Braves. They just won the World Series. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's biased. That's biased if you're going to put the Astros at number 5, all that stuff. The Braves just won the World Series, and they did it without Ronald Acuna Jr., which is absolutely crazy. This Braves team, they did it without Ronald Acuna Jr., and obviously they haven't brought back Freddie Freeman, but I think they're going to do everything in their power to bring back Freddie Freeman, and Freddie Freeman wants to be there in Atlanta. Mike Soroka will be coming back at some point in 2022. I feel very confident in this Braves team, and I feel very confident that I put them at number 1 in these rankings. That's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications because, like I said, if you want great baseball content throughout the offseason and the like out, make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.